Hello science fans, welcome back to Science Fun with Austin. Today we're taking a look at something that might be interesting for anyone who happens to be deployed or remember having been deployed, and that is the MRE heater. First off, let's take a look and see what happens when you combine an MRE heater with a regular old microwave heater. For the record, the safety warnings do recommend not placing an open flame in the vapor coming from the MRE heater, not placing 10 or more in an enclosed area, and they also recommend not drinking the water, but I don't see anything about not microwaving it, so we should be good. Alright, we've got two MRE heaters here. We're going to add a little bit of water to the one on the right here, just to kind of see what happens if you're already kind of partially activated. And let's see what happens. Alright, we're definitely getting some steam coming off the wet MRE heater. Looks like things have sped up a little bit. Definitely smell some vapor coming off of there. Interesting. It looks like what happened was the combination of the MRE heater itself and the microwave very quickly drove off all the water and basically shut down the reaction. And then with the dry MRE heater packet left over, not a whole lot happened. Alright, another warning here is that the vapors released by the heaters may be flammable. So we've stuffed about 4 MRE heaters inside this bottle, and we'll add a little bit of water and see if that is in fact true. And that bark is characteristic of a hydrogen flame. You hear a very high flame speed, the flame propagates back down into the bottle, and that is what you get. So it turns out that you really should try not to have a whole bunch of MRE heaters going in an enclosed space. Oh wow, that's still going. We'll be right back, folks. And this is pretty interesting. The bottle actually isn't getting all that hot, but we're continuously flaring off all the vapor coming from here. If you zoom in really close to the flame here, you can actually see some green and purple colors. And here's kind of a neat side view of the flame. You can see that kind of greenish color right in the throat of the bottle, and a little bit of purple kind of near the base of the flame. So with the orange, green, and purple, ordinarily a hydrogen flame is close to colorless, so we can tell there's some other elements in the exhaust gas here. Wow. Elijah Craig bottle is just swell. The problem with trying to put this out by putting the cork on would be that the continuous gas creation by the heaters would blow the cork right back off, and probably it would still be warm enough to touch off the flame. Hopefully this will just kind of burn out on its own eventually. So what happened was eventually the reaction inside the bottle got vigorous enough to push the liquid up into the throat where the flame was and put it out. So with this type of bottle, at least it's kind of self-regulating. Alright, science fans, one last thing we're checking here. We all know that if we place enough MRE heaters in a bottle and add water and then close the bottle will burst. The question is whether that just represents overpressure or if the thing gets hot enough to light the hydrogen off. So to check that, we're in the dark, which should let us see a flash, and we'll also have the FLIR cam on it. So let's see what we get. definitely an overpressure. Ooh, definitely an overpressure. Well, I think we've learned a few things about the MRE heaters. Interestingly, they don't do a whole lot in the microwave. And we found out that if you have a wet MRE heater in there, it quickly heats up enough to drive off the water, and it stops doing anything. However, in accordance with the warning label on the packaging, it turns out that the vapor from MRE heaters, being rich in hydrogen, is quite flammable, and that it will eventually crack the throat of a glass bottle that you happen to be burning it in. And finally, we learned that when you stuff a bottle with MRE heaters and add water, the cause of the pop you hear is the overpressure bursting the bottle, and not the heaters actually igniting the hydrogen. And as a bonus, we actually learned where the weakest point on a Powerade Zero bottle is. Interestingly enough, we also saw the same thing that we saw with the wet heaters in the microwave with the bottle. As soon as the heaters were ejected from the bottle, they quickly drove off all the residual water and quit doing anything. So anyway, I think we've established that you can microwave MRE heaters if you want, but you should probably listen to the warning label and or your NCOs if you're junior enlisted, because your odds of being on fire will be greatly reduced if you listen. And you can make an entertaining pop by stuffing them in a bottle. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Until next time, have fun, science fans.